your roadmap to the latest in auto. Welcome to Highway Herald. In today's video, we're diving into some unprecedented changes shaking up the Chinese EV market. Over the past few years, Chinese automakers have dominated the electric vehicle scene, setting trends in both technology and sales. But recently, the market's rapid growth has hit a bump in the road, leading to some fascinating and challenging developments. Here are 8 things happening in the Chinese EV market that have never happened before. Number 8. Discount Deluge. The price battle unfolds. China has always been known for offering more affordable EVs compared to the rest of the world, but recent months have taken this to a whole new level. Despite a slight recovery in March after a disastrous February, growth remains well below expectations. The market is oversupplied, forcing car makers into fierce price wars. Take BYD, for example. They initially offered a 20,000 yuan discount, around $2,800. But soon after, EVs that originally cost $14,000 were slashed to around $11,000. This sparked a domino effect, with other companies following suit. Some brands have even halved their prices. On average, EVs are now 30% cheaper than just a few months ago. Where this price war will lead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: profitability is taking a back seat, and smaller-scale producers are scrambling to find new strategies to survive this crisis. Number 7. Tesla's Chinese Conundrum. It's not just domestic EV makers feeling the heat. Tesla is struggling too. Once a market leader with constant growth, Tesla is now facing a slowdown in China. The local companies have caught up in technology, and while Tesla remains the second best-selling brand, it has seen a significant regression. Currently, Tesla holds about 10% of the Chinese market, a far cry from BYD's commanding 33%. The numbers are stark. In the first quarter of this year, Tesla sold around 300,000 vehicles, a whopping 43% drop from the previous quarter. This downturn has forced Tesla into the ongoing price war. The Tesla Model 3 has dropped from $37,000 to $31,000, and the Model Y now starts at $35,700, down from $40,000. To cope with these challenges, Tesla plans to lay off 10% of its global workforce, with a significant portion of these cuts expected to happen in China, its second most important market. Number 6. The arrival of new challengers. The Chinese EV market has always been dynamic, but things have escalated recently with the entry of tech giants Huawei and Xiaomi into the scene. Known primarily for their smartphones and advanced electronics, these companies have now launched their electric cars, complicating matters for established EV makers already struggling with a fierce price war. Huawei was the first to debut its EV, the S7. Boasting advanced technology and an 800-volt architecture, it directly challenges the Tesla Model S. Priced just above $35,000, the S7 has the potential to disrupt the market significantly. Xiaomi followed suit by launching its first EV, priced around $30,000 with an impressive 435-mile range. The response has been phenomenal, with a 35% reservation-to-order conversion rate and over 30,000 non-refundable orders within a few days. These new entries by Huawei and Xiaomi have intensified competition, adding another layer of complexity to an already volatile market. Number 5. Turbulence in the Chinese automotive market. EVs aren't the only segment struggling in the Chinese auto market. The entire industry is experiencing a decline. All-electric, plug-in hybrid, or pure internal combustion, every segment is affected. The industry's peak was back in 2017, when 24 million new cars were registered. Since then, the numbers have consistently dropped. By 2023, sales had fallen to just over 21 million, reflecting a nearly 3 million vehicle decrease over 7 years in the world's second-largest auto market. While EVs continue to grow, the overall market contraction suggests that the potential for EV expansion is also waning. During the boom years, especially between 2020 and 2022, we saw year-over-year growth rates exceeding 100%, driven by strong demand and favorable policies. However, 2023 marked a significant slowdown, with growth falling to a disappointing 31%. This deceleration has led to oversupply and massive discounts across the market. The trend continued into the first quarter of this year. Despite a slight recovery in March, the outlook for 2024 remains bleak. Analysts predict continued challenges for the Chinese auto industry, suggesting that the market's best days may be behind it. Before we delve deeper, we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to Highway Herald. Your support fuels our passion to create more content like this. Now let's explore number 4. Economic standstill. China's financial quagmire. The ongoing EV slowdown in China can be attributed to several factors, with the struggling Chinese economy being a major one. After decades of impressive growth, the economy is now slowing. The peak seems to be behind us, and growth is expected to be around 4% in 2024. Decent, but not spectacular. The deeper issue isn't just the numbers. The middle class is shrinking, and consumer spending is decreasing. Several factors contribute to this downturn. Firstly, China faces an aging population, which puts a strain on the economy. Secondly, the real estate market is precarious, with some predicting it could collapse. Lastly, the banking system has its own set of issues, prompting the government to implement various measures to boost spending and inject liquidity. These economic challenges are having a significant negative impact on the EV market, exacerbating the difficulties faced by Chinese car makers as they navigate these turbulent times. Number 3. Graveyards of abandoned EVs. One of the most intriguing phenomena in the Chinese EV market is the EV graveyards. In major cities across China, you can find lots filled with hundreds, sometimes thousands of abandoned electric cars. While the exact reasons are unclear, insiders suggest it stems from an organized scheme. Initially, generous government incentives led to over 500 registered EV startups. However, as the government imposed stricter requirements and cut spending, many companies couldn't meet sales targets. To circumvent this, some EV makers struck deals with car rental firms, selling them vehicles that were never intended for actual use. When rental companies realized these EVs were subpar, they abandoned them, leaving them registered and licensed but unused. This has resulted in these vast EV graveyards, a testament to the challenges and growing pains of the Chinese EV market. Number 2. The demise of low-volume producers. In the heyday of the Chinese EV market, over 500 companies emerged, but most were destined for failure. Within a few short years, the number dwindled to approximately 90, the current-day estimate. However, even among these surviving companies, only a dozen or so have a realistic chance of enduring. Reports indicate that a staggering one-third of these EV makers struggle to sell even 2,000 cars annually. Meanwhile, the top 10 companies command a whopping 80% of the market share, leaving little room for smaller players to thrive. Even heavyweight startups like Evergrande New Energy Auto, boasting significant resources, succumb to bankruptcy. It's no wonder many experts predict a further consolidation in the industry, with only a handful of EV makers expected to weather the storm in the long run. Number 1. Barrier to the West. Chinese EV makers' international struggle. Despite rapid advancements, Chinese EV makers face significant hurdles in penetrating Western markets, especially in Europe and North America. Even the industry giants struggle. For instance, BYD, the world's largest EV manufacturer, still relies on domestic sales for 95% of its business. While they do export to Europe and Australia, these sales remain minimal. This challenge raises concerns about the long-term sustainability of Chinese EV companies, particularly as their home market faces slowdowns. Interestingly, only legacy automakers like Geely and MG have found some success internationally, primarily due to their affordable internal combustion models. The big question remains, when will Chinese electric cars make a significant impact globally? The road ahead is uncertain, but it's a crucial hurdle for the future of China's EV industry. Don't forget to subscribe to Highway Herald to stay updated on the latest vehicle updates and upcoming videos. See you next time.